Hello. I'm just seeing if anybody's going to pop on. So, forgot I made some tea and now it's cold. Rooibos. Rooibos. Hello, Nick. All right. Well, some people might join on. I am just going to wait. I just did a live stream in one of my 21-day program groups that I'm running right now. And I talked about some of the misconceptions because there are so many, right? And it's only understandable because there's so much conflicting information out there. And hey, Jackie. And the issues are, of course, that there's so much information out there that can seem really conflicting and confusing, but that's also because everybody's different. Right? Everybody's different. There is no one diet that suits everybody. Everybody's body processes things differently. Different ages, we are different. Men and women are different. Now, I work with women mainly over the age of 40, right? So 40 and over, because women are going through these changes, usually 45 and over, and their body starts reacting differently. So that means that the way foods reacted were dealt with in their body in their 20s and 30s and early 40s, it doesn't happen that way anymore. And even men, it is true that when men hit a certain age, certain food, right, what used to work doesn't work anymore. And there's all this, hey Sabina, there's all this, we're marketed to, and I think that's another problem. We are so marketed, and even on Facebook, about recipes, or try this, or this is healthy, or guilt-free, or sugar-free, or fat-free, all of these things that's out there. And it's like, what? And the health food stores now, like Whole Foods, are really popular, that have like millions of products. So you go in there and there's everything, from things that are super duper healthy for us, and then things that are labeled or packaged to look really healthy because it's a big business right now. But are they really healthy for you? And that's the confusion. When you walk into Whole Foods or a health food store that sells all the food products too, it doesn't mean that everything within that store is good for you. It may mean it's a healthier version of something. It's not really bad for you, but it doesn't mean that it's good for you. It doesn't mean that you can eat tons of it because you bought it there. And examples may be for some of the gluten-free pastas and breads now, which, you guys, they're not healthy. They're just gluten-free. It doesn't mean they're healthy. It doesn't mean they're guilt-free, because if you consume those flours and starches, some of them are worse, right? Because they're high starch, they're potato starch, they're corn starch, they're arrowroot starch. They're all these various starches that are in these gluten-free products now. And if you even find gluten-free breads and stuff that don't have preservatives, which is very rare, you will certainly not find gluten-free cookies, crackers, snacks. All of them will still have the preservatives in them. Therefore, they have toxins in them. Those things cannot be broken down in your body. So there's also the vegan. And when I get into the vegan meats and the tofurkey, and the different flavors of even tempeh right now, and tofu and stuff. Oh, drives me crazy. Because if you read the package ingredients, you'll see all the junk that they contain. And also, a lot of the vegan products are not wheat-free. They have a lot of wheat. They have a lot of soy in them. Now, soy is not that it's horrible for you if consumed in moderation, and especially if it's fermented or non-GMO and organic, then every once in a while it's totally fine. But some of these vegan products have a lot of soy. They may not even be non-GMO. They have a lot of wheat products in them. They have a lot of starches in them. They have a lot of flavorings in them, which are not natural at all. They're actually fake flavorings. So anytime you take in these fake foods, these fake flavorings, these preservatives, all of these things, right, your body stores them in fat because it cannot break them down. And it's protecting your body, your organs. So it stores these chemicals in your fat to keep them away from your organs and dumping them into your bloodstream, right? So that's what I feel about the vegan products. I feel that they're just too full of junk. Even if you read Now, not all of them. Like now there's a lot of cashew dips and sauces and cheeses that are out there made from cashews that are fermented, and they have very few ingredients. They cost $12, but they still are not bad for you. But are they healthy for you? Not really. They're not adding to your health. They're helping you avoid some of the cheesy, the dairy, the other stuff that you might have consumed. So they give you a healthier alternative to some of the junky food, right? That's what they are. Now, the vegan cheeses, which are made, again, from a whole bunch of soy, and they're orange, so they obviously have orange flavoring in them, and all the other stuff, right? Those, not real. They're not real food, so I don't really recommend having something like that either. So just don't get fooled by those thinking that you're going vegan, so you're going to go much healthier. A vegan healthy diet would be one that contains, you know, very little preservatives, all natural whole foods, right? That would be more of a healthier diet. There's also potato chips are vegan, but they doesn't mean they're healthy for you, right? So really watch the labels put on things. All natural doesn't necessarily mean it's actually healthy. It can mean that it was once from a natural ingredient, but the way it was processed is so processed with chemicals added to it now that it is no longer even at all like the actual natural product that it started out to be. So just because something says all natural doesn't mean it's healthy for you. It may not even be all natural anymore. What else was I going to talk about? Does anybody have any questions as to a food they're unsure of? Like, well, I thought this was supposedly healthy, but is it? And another thing that is for women over 45, basically, if you are still consuming like even the gluten-free breads, or if you're having, let's say, I was told to have like a bagel and peanut butter in the morning, or I was told to make sure I get my, as in I need my protein in the morning, right? Well, that's one of the worst things you can have. A big bowl of oatmeal for somebody who is either in some sort of insulin resistance where they're gaining a lot of weight, especially around the midsection, or is a little middle age, that's not a good thing to have, because that's going to go straight to fat at this phase of your life. Anything high carb, high starchy, going to go right to fat. Having a lot of bananas, having a lot of fruits is not necessarily healthy if you are in a pattern, if you are in this weight gain cycle. Then a high fruit diet is not the thing for you to have. It doesn't mean fruit's not, it just means that your body is processing that fruit as a simple sugar and converting it right to fat. So there's certain times and certain people that are able to eat certain foods, but it may not be you, right? So when we listen to what people say is right for everybody, that's a total miss thing. There's not, everybody, we are all different. So we're trying to follow a diet for some women in their 20s and 30s, and you're in 45, it's probably not going to work for you. It's probably just not going to work for you. So that's something to consider. It's really about knowing and using common sense, right? And thinking, is this something I should be eating? How do I know? How does it make me feel? How do I feel? Am I gaining weight? Am I losing weight? Am I getting headachy? Am I getting bloated? Am I full? Am I starving all the time? Am I craving all the time, right? Because when you crave all the time, you're caught in a vicious cycle. You're definitely not eating the right foods. So if you're somebody who right now you're noticing you're craving things, you're craving chocolate, you're craving the simple carbohydrates, you're just caught up in a cycle, and you probably are. I love fruit though. Doesn't mean it's horrible, Jackie. But for somebody who, so if you have consumed recently to the sugars, like we're talking any type of sugar, and a lot of fruit, and then let's say some white stuff, some, you know, some pastas, some flours, you're not really watching, you're kind of being conscious, but you're not really watching. So you've kind of been eating all those types of foods, and then you notice you start gaining weight, and you start gaining weight and getting more weight around the midsection, in the thighs, whatever. Then at that time, you probably do have a bit of insulin resistance or something going on. And so continually to consume fruit is probably not a good idea, because at that time in your life, it is just basically being seen as sugar in your body, and it's just converting to sugar. So that is not a good thing. That's something you don't want to. If you are, like, there's people who are high raw. I almost forgot to share this video. people who consume, like friends, like Liz, she's watched this, probably won't watch this, but a friend of mine, she's a high raw, she's been raw for years. She can eat tons of sugar. Her body's completely detoxified. She has no insulin resistance because she's eaten in such a balanced, high quality way that her body's functioning good. So the sugar will not react, the fruit will not react that way in her body. But for somebody who still consumes simple sugars, simple carbohydrates and those types of things, your body is probably in some form of a bit of insulin resistance, especially if you're over 40. Therefore, any of those foods will probably convert right to fat for you. Any of the simple carbohydrates, the starchy carbohydrates, and fruit. That's the only thing. And if you're going to consume fruit, fruit should be first thing in the morning with no other food around it. When you consume fruit, once you've eaten something heavier, what happens is the fruit wants to digest fast while the food in your gut hasn't digested yet. And so the fruit's going to go in there. It's going to sit on top of the undigested food. And then what happens is it spoils and it ferments. And it causes bloating and uncomfortableness. And when food's not fully digested, when you got this food that's rotted in your gut and it's spoiling, it's producing toxins, and you get a leaky gut syndrome, and that can cause a whole lot of gut problems, right? So you want your fruit, if you can still consume it, like if you feel like, nope, my weight's good, I'm not gaining, I'm really good, I'm feeling really good, then fruit in the morning, just with no other, like in a smoothie, fine, but no heavy food first. Fruit first, I want to say. In a smoothie, it's fine. I don't know why I can't get to this. And just a note, if people are watching this on replay, when you go to one of my groups, like if you're Women Creating Healthy Lives, I can never find my live video in it. It's just like it doesn't show it. It's there, but it won't show it. It won't even show my recent posts for some reason. It's not showing my video again. I can't even share it. It's just not there. Oh, it's not there. It's on my personal page. Sorry. Jeez. Hi. Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, you're welcome, Jackie. Do you have any other questions, Jackie, while I'm on, about any foods or anything? I can answer them right now. Happy to answer them if you have any questions. Because it is confusing out there. There's a lot of conflicting information, right? And it's very frustrating for people. Yogurt's another thing. Using yogurt for probiotics. Now, if you make your own yogurt and you have organic milk or raw milk and you're making your own yogurt and you have no lactose intolerance, then having yogurt every once in a while is not bad. But if you have, let me just share this. If you have not tried giving up dairy completely, you don't know if you have any reactions to dairy. You could have mucus that forms. You could get headaches. You could have bloating, and you just think that's normal. But when you go to give up dairy completely for a while, you notice, oh my God, I feel so much better, right? So you always want to see, are you intolerant first, and give it up and then see how that reacts to you first. And then if you're totally fine on dairy, then a good organic Greek yogurt with no flavorings, no colorings, that is okay. The problem is that the yogurts nowadays are really highly processed. They usually have a lot of junk in them. The colorings in them are usually colorings, as in blue dye, red dye, whatever. And they contain sugar, lots and lots of sugar, or fructose, which is even worse. That's a fruit sugar. Or they will contain zero sugar, which they'll add like a sucrose, or they'll add like an aspartame or something fake to them, right? So those are definitely no good. Yogurt is not something you have to have. A great idea to replace yogurt is to take a full fat or coconut milk that is in a good canned coconut milk, organic, BPA free can, get the good stuff, and you mix it with blueberries with a bit of chia gel and add a little bit of sweetener to it, and you blend it and have that in the fridge, and that'll be like a good creamy yogurt, and that is better. And then for probiotics, take a good high quality probiotic, 50 billion, about 50 billion, take a good probiotic. Don't just consume yogurt because it has probiotics. It usually has very, 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 very little, really little amounts in it. And then if it's got the fake colorings and a lot of sugar in it, it's just worse for you. So it's not helping you whatsoever, right? So try that. And let me see what else. Almond butter, peanut butter. Is almond butter, peanut butter bad for you, good for you? Is it healthy? Well, I wouldn't really say healthy. So we're not talking health benefits, really. Of course, get a good organic peanut butter, a natural peanut butter. The ones that are Jiffy or Squirrel or whatever those are have like an icing sugar in them and a lot of junk in them. So you don't want to consume those. Yeah, if you're going to consume a bit of peanut butter, just make sure it's a good all natural organic peanut butter, and same with the almond butter. Not so bad, but still they're high fat. It's not, you don't need a lot of it. If you eat a lot of it, you are going to continue to put on the weight. It is very high in calories, but it's not bad to have a little bit at a time. So just be aware of some of the fad diet foods, the fads that are out there. And always read ingredients of labels. Just because something's labeled natural, healthy, just because it's sold at a health store or a healthy store in the health section of your grocery store, it doesn't mean that it's good for you. All right? So just always beware. Canned foods, I would always buy organic, not regular. And you want to watch the BPA lining of the canned foods that or toxins get into your body, screw around with the hormone imbalance of your body. All right, so much more to talk about, but that's what I'm going to say tonight. If you have any questions, comments, future video suggestions, please send me a message. And if you're interested in working with me, and if you're a woman over 40, then reach out to me on Facebook. I have a lot more videos on YouTube, Diana Marchand, and my site is dianamarchand.com. My Facebook community, where you want to be a part of if you're a woman over 40, is Women Creating Healthy Lives. All right. Have a fabulous evening. Stay healthy. Talk to you later. Bye.